Hello. All right. Well, we started. It looks like. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hey guys. Welcome, Ben and Mudhog and Steven. How's everyone doing tonight? Let's see. Oh, Ben, you that's my first topic. Wait, my second topic. That's the reservation tracker sheet. I wanted to start opening with this on the streams just to kind of see where the reservations are at every week. And I kind of dived into it. I came to realize I never did this. I never went through the process of actually finding out where I was in line on the sheet. I just followed a formula and did it because when I went through the process, I realized I've never done this before. Over 1 million. What's over 1 million? Oh yeah, well, it's not over 1 million actually. It's not over 1 million. That's my reservation. I put that in because one of the things. Wait, what time is it? I'm not sure I should start talking about this yet. Yeah, we're close enough. 7:59. Okay. So, one of the things, that's my reservation number right there. So, I had been meaning to reserve 2 more dual motors. And so the question came up last week about what are the reservation numbers, and I talked about the reservation tracker, and I thought I'm gonna get I'm gonna reserve one of the Cybertrucks that I was another one, and I'm gonna go through the process. And when I went through the process, I realized I haven't done this before because it asked a bunch of questions I don't ever remember asking. So let's see. I don't know. Well, I see your comments with everyone else, Ben. It's popping up in the feed along with everyone else's. I don't know how that is possible. No, over 1 million right here. Oh, yeah, someone said right above you in the chat. So I don't know why you're not seeing it. Oh, that's nice to know it wasn't my fault. Okay, so you can see that the range. So this is what's interesting. I hadn't done this before, so I went through the process. I reserved. Let's see, where's my little thing here? Anyway. I took a screenshot of my reservation number tonight when it came through because one of my questions is, wait, what if someone is just hacking this? Like random people could just come in here and put in reservation numbers and it would skew the actual count because you wouldn't know. I don't know if anyone else's number in here is valid. So I said, I know one way to find out. I will reserve a Cybertruck tonight. So I did that about 6:30 Central Standard Time. And then I went through the process of putting it in here in the reservation tracker. Now, you can't put it right on the sheet here. You have to actually click on this link. You kind of have to go through a little bit of a convoluted process to do it. I made a video on it. I got to edit it a little bit because there's some places where the sheet lags. But I thought I'd put it up so people could see, like, how do you figure out where you're at in line? But it actually has prompted me. I have some questions. So I'm going to send an email to this Gmail account. And I tweeted at the person that supposedly provides updates to Twitter. I don't know if it's the same person. But I'm super interested if maybe there's someone who watches my videos. But I would really like to talk to him about how they made this sheet and what are the underlying assumptions, because there is this, so you can see here so what this means is this is the range of reservation numbers from the very first number that they know about, one of the very first early reservations, until, in this case, my reservation. So there were a total of 1,015 numbers. But then it has this thing called a corrected position. So it says I'm actually, with my reservation that I made tonight, 703,000 in line, and I'm 236,000 in line for for the dual motor. So I don't actually know how these variables go into play, like where I live. Other people that know more about Tesla know more about this. It just prompted me because it asked me like, where do I live? And am I a prior reservation or prior Tesla owner, which I'm not. But it actually just, I was like, okay, I'm super curious now how these numbers are, how they're generating these numbers. Why if there's a million of these that have been a million numbers, a gap from the first to the last, why am I number 703 in 1,000? So let's see here again. I don't know. Reservation. They were saying that some people have already canceled. Okay. All right, that's interesting. Well, I'm going to see if I can get the person that did this sheet to at least engage me in an email conversation. I'd love to talk to the person, maybe do a Zoom call if they're not opposed to being on camera, or at least doing a phone call. I think it would be super fascinating to know what were the assumptions they built in. So I got this error when I was doing it. It said my RN number is too large for the date. What does that mean? I mean, I guess maybe, I wonder if I put it in wrong. I'm going to see where I took a screenshot. Here it is. Oh, no. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. But super interesting. But here's what I want to show you that I'm more interested by. So if you go here to the General Results tab, and the way you get to this, by the way, is through the Cybertruck owner group, which is a great group. I can't imagine there's anyone that watches my videos that hasn't been to that page, but maybe there is, or that site. Man, I really love their website. They have all kinds of cool stuff. I'm in it at least once a week, oftentimes more than that. Okay, so what I want to show you here is, look at this. So they didn't start asking this question about prior Tesla owner until, oh, dogs. Oh no. I got it. First time I've had the dogs go bonkers. Okay, so the number in this sheet, there have been 7,700 entries. And they started asking the question if you were a current Tesla owner or a prior Tesla owner, like 1,500 in. So that's a pretty good chunk of data. And this is what I find really interesting. Of the prior Tesla owners, only 28% of reservation holders have had a Tesla before. That's super interesting to me, because I didn't own a Tesla, and I'm thinking that the Cybertruck is massively expanding both people that are getting into pickup trucks, but also massively expanding people that are buying Teslas for the first time. But then over here, they have this plot that's super interesting that shows the reservation number trend line. And what is really interesting to me about this is, instead of, I would have thought that this would have actually flattened out and started to plateau. But what you actually see here, which is really surprising to me, is actually an uptick. The curve is actually starting to accelerate on reservation numbers. So I guess this kind of gets back to my original proposition in the video I did, saying, you should reserve your Cybertruck now, which is, I think that as more and more news coverage comes out, more and more exposure comes out about the Cybertruck, and I think about other electric trucks. I actually think they kind of feed on each other in terms of it just gets more and more and more into people's brains that this is really happening. It's really going to happen. So, okay. Let's see here if there's any question. I'm getting ready to move on. Is there any, you guys have any questions about this, like this process, or if you have any, if you know anything about this stuff that I don't know, if you mention it in the comments, I'll try and go back and look through it. But I was really surprised by this, particularly this acceleration in reservations since, I guess June 1, which is is that when the Leno episode came out? I can't remember. I'm going to be curious to wonder what happened right there. Why was there an inflection point that started to accelerate it? Okay. I don't think they can use the Cybertruck on the launch pad because it's not actually in a real vehicle. I think it has to be like an actual, like a legitimate vehicle. Let's see. All right. Okay. Yeah, you did say, Ben, you said about the cancellations. So, although that, I guess that would kind of surprise me. 300,000 people canceled, but maybe not. I don't know how I don't actually know how this process works. What do I think the take rate will be? My guess is it's I think the take rate is very dependent on two things. The first thing is whether or not FSD keeps accelerating at the pace. In other words, if full self-driving hits a plateau and it doesn't seem to be continuing to improve, from my perspective, it feels like every month I'm seeing people doing things with the Tesla that it wasn't doing the month before or 2 months before, whether it's roundabouts or whether it's city navigation. It just seems like there's kind of this palpable acceleration in that. If that sort of plateaus, if that stops happening, I think you'll see the take rate decline. And then the other thing is, how fast will they be able to produce these? Because I think the take rate's going to be higher if people don't feel like, like I just, supposedly, if this reservation number is to be believed, 700,000 in line, 200,000 for the dual motor. I think if people feel like they have to wait years to get it, I think they're going to get impatient and they're going to start looking around, because there's only so long you can put off buying a new vehicle if you really need one. And so my sense is, if they can get the Gigafactory built and producing Teslas, producing Cybertrucks very fast, 250, 300,000 per year, I think the take rate's going to be pretty high. By pretty high, my guess is 40% on the low end. If full self-driving is essentially functional but not legal. In other words, basically, we're seeing Tesla vehicles, and there's journalists in it, and there's analysts in it. Not, in other words, it's not just a Tesla video, but there's actually people that are in it that are skeptics, and it's actually doing full self-driving on its own, like through complicated scenarios. I think the take rate could go up to, 65 or 70%. My guess is the high side would probably be 65 or 70% of this number. But then what's going to happen, as soon as they start getting delivered, this reservation number is going to go boom through the roof. So I think you're going to have some people fall out because they reserved like 10 and they don't have the economic means to actually purchase 10. So I think you're going to absolutely lose some of those people. I think some people will be lured away by other EVs. And yeah, I think some people will be, if they have to wait forever, they're going to bail. So that'd be my guess. But I'm just speculating. So what do I know? I don't know anything. I'm just I'm a landscaper. I plow snow. My opinion doesn't even, just disregard it. Doesn't mean anything. Okay, move on to the next thing. Someone mentioned this in the chat, I already saw, but I thought this was really, this was very helpful for me in conceptualizing. So the Ford plant here in Kansas City is about 1,800 acres or 1,900 acres. It's something like this, and it's massive. It's like a city. Now, obviously, it's all built out, but this is the Gigafactory Texas land versus Giga Berlin, Giga Nevada, Giga Shanghai, Fremont. I'm guessing this is Fremont here, although it kind of cuts it off. But I guess I didn't realize, honestly, I thought Giga Nevada was much bigger. Just for some reason, I'm sure I could have looked it up and found out. But this is super useful to get a feel for what sort of scale Tesla is thinking about. I mean, look how small Giga Shanghai is relative. Now, man, I don't know. Maybe this isn't accurate. I don't know. But I feel like I did read somewhere that the Giga Shanghai plant is on 200 acres. I feel like I did see that somewhere. So some people last week when I was saying, oh, maybe in the first year they're going to get up to, 200,000. And they were saying, man, it's going to be producing way more than that. They were saying like 500,000. I think the constraint is going to be batteries. So I think they could probably ramp it up faster, but clearly they have a lot of space. So, all right. Some of the greatest minds were landscapers. I don't think they were as their main job. They were landscapers on the side. Those people can do it as a hobby. People like me that have to do it for a living, there's a reason. Let's see here. Okay. When do they stop? I thought they limited you to 10. I thought I had heard someone say they limit you to 10 reservations. I guess I'm not super. This is my theory, is that there is I had this theory before I saw that plot with the reservations accelerating, which is that a lot of people, I referred to that, there was a Loop Ventures article that talked about them going out into truckland into the Midwest and talking to construction professionals, and them saying that of the 22 contractors they talked to, 5 said their next truck was going to be a Cybertruck. I'll bet a bunch of those people haven't reserved one yet. I think that there is if you haven't bought a Tesla before and you haven't thought about reserving a truck, you kind of have an impression that when a vehicle gets released, you're going to be able to go somewhere and buy it. And I think there's a lot of people that actually don't understand that you have to get in line, and there's this long line forming. And I think they're going to be like, what? I've never heard of such a thing, because they're just sort of casual. They're casually, thinking about this. And I just think it's going to, I think there's a lot more demand than is reflected in just purely the reservations. Yeah, you're right. If there is a reservation, it would probably just be limited to email. Well, questions, Canadian on the mirrors. There was a press release by, I believe it was the NSTHA, or National Highway Safety Transportation Authority, that they released a memo that said that they were considering the European Union rules that allow for the elimination of the side mirror. So my guess is that I don't think Tesla is alone in wanting to eliminate the side mirror. I actually think that a lot of people would like that to happen, especially a lot of the European car makers, that it would make it easier for them to standardize their designs. So I think there's a good chance that before they actually have to finalize the design or before they start producing, that the side mirror thing will be allowed. Because the thing is, it's already allowed in Europe. It's not like the US would be the first one. That's why I'm fairly optimistic that that's gonna make it. Who knows? I mean, I don't know, but well, I know some Model Y reservation holders haven't gotten theirs if they have the 7-seater because they're not making it yet. I don't know who else. Let's see here. Yeah, NHTSA. I can, if I say the words out, I can come up with it. But let's see. All right. Anything else? Okay, yeah, about the mirror. All right. So this is just a picture of the site. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this, but what I wanted to do, and I didn't have time to do before this, was I wanted to see if I could go, now that we actually have a real legit start date, I wanted to go and look at how long it took, because I mean, Berlin is not, it feels like they just started clearing the land and they're already putting up the walls. So it's really possible. I know some people were like chewing on me because I said 12 months to build this, and everyone's like, oh, they're going to build it faster. They're building it faster in Berlin than I thought they would. So man, it gives me reason for hope. So let's see. Okay. I did a video like yesterday on the new Hummer EV teaser video that GM did. And I wanted to, let me just see here. Okay, let me just push this and see if this works.
In fact, its remotely controlled capabilities enable the vehicle incredible assets of the concept.
Okay.
Smart.
So somebody was speculating that the crab mode, which I don't know if this is it, but one of the things I mentioned in that video is it's going to have this ability to do something called crab mode. And one of the people speculated that what that might be is this ability for the back wheels to either steer, actually pivot, or change their rotation. By changing the rotation, you can get the car to kind of slide directionally one way or another, which is kind of interesting. Here's why I like that, if that's what it is, because I think it puts pressure on the Cybertruck to do something like that. Now, maybe they're planning on it. I believe there's no reason the Cybertruck can't do some kind of pivot turn, not exactly a tank turn like the Rivian, but something like, I have an older video talking about this, but it's one of my first. It's probably not very good, but in the world of landscaping, we use zero-turn mowers, and essentially the front wheels aren't powered. So, because some people are thinking you can't do like a tank turn if you can't rotate all the wheels at the same time. But what you could do, or I think you could do, not an engineer, like I said, full disclosure, but if you rotate if you counter rotate the back wheels, you can essentially achieve something very much like a tank turn. And what I like about this concept, if this is the case, is that it's going to put more pressure on Tesla to actually give us some kind of steering or some kind of ability to control the tire rotation to allow it to turn more tightly than a standard truck would be able to do. Now, they might already have something like this on the drawing boards, but I like the fact that this is starting to become a theme in electric pickup trucks, because there's no reason the Cybertruck shouldn't be able to do it. There's things you can do with independent motors that you just can't do with the standard truck. So I just wanted to mention that, because I'm really hoping that's not on my like top tier feature list. It's more like my second tier feature list that I would like it to have. It's not essential, but it would be really convenient in certain situations. And again, plowing snow, that would be awesome if it can have a plow in the front of it, which is another thing that I'm hoping it can do. I would love to plow snow. Okay, this was just something. So I just wanted to mention this, that I think we're seeing sort of a convergence. There's a race, which I kind of like. I think competition is good. I like the fact that now there's 3 vehicles that are all trying to race to get released in mid to late 2021. So Rivian is saying mid 2021. I think they're saying like August, or maybe they just said mid 2021. Now again, I'm the most skeptical of Rivian's time frame because they've never done manufacturing before, and as Elon Musk said, it's difficult to make things, and people underestimate it. And this is why when I was evaluating the Hummer, which I'm pretty impressed with the potential of the Hummer as another entrant into the electric truck market, which I'm going to talk on this in a second. But the GM, you can fault them for a lot of things as far as being late to the game, but they know how to. I mean, they're not as cavalier about saying something is going to come out if it's not going to come out with a vehicle. Now, could they miss? Yes. Is it electric and does it have its own challenges? Of course it does. But I'm more optimistic because they have a lot of experience doing this. Not exactly electric vehicles, but producing vehicles. They have the workforce, they have the factories. So I feel like I'm thinking of all the vehicles, it could very well be that the Hummer gets released before the Rivian. And again, Tesla's never really deviated from late 2021, so it could just be they're late. That's when they're doing it, but they're not late. That's just when they predicted they were going to go to market with it. I like this. I like the fact that it's a race. I think for sure Elon Musk is competitive, and I think the fact that there's multiple vehicles trying to become the first and the best, it's going to be very exciting come, the first one of these that gets released. Man, it's going to be great. And hopefully there's some actual prototypes of these that are available, like press vehicles that are available 3 months earlier, that we can start seeing, them in real life. And Cybertruck too, man. We need to see more Cybertrucks out. Definitely want to see it out off-roading. All right, let's see here. I gotta look over here. Gotta try and keep up. Thoughts on Tesla Semi. Let's see. Yes, I agree about the mirrors. It is a risk. My guess is Tesla probably is gonna design. They've got a design for both ways. And my also guess is they'll have a retrofit kit that will be available to retrofit. That would be my speculation on the mirrors. Let's see. John, you're going to have to be more specific about half shaft issues. I'm not sure what you're asking. I don't know. If you're asking me something specifically about the engineering of like how the differentials will work, etc. Don't know. Not an engineer. I'm using my experience with heavy equipment, pivot turn or tank turning and mowers turning to think that it's possible. But if someone knows better, they can correct me, and that's fine. Let's see. Yes, crab mode. Well, we're all speculating. I don't think they've actually said what crab mode is, but anyway. So yeah. Okay. This is good because you guys are starting to hate on the Hummer here. So here's what I wanted to talk about. I like this. Perfect segue. Flaws of the Cybertruck. So I think here's why I'm rooting for Rivian and General Motors. Here's why I'm being optimistic, and here's why I am trying to, as somebody that is I was a truck person before I was a Cybertruck person. And I think that if there's one category of vehicle the American manufacturers are going to take seriously, it's the truck. I think GM realized this before Ford, and I think that the Hummer is serious. I think they put a lot of money into it. They put a lot of thought into it, and I want to mention, so there's some weaknesses that the Cybertruck has that can also be strengths, but they are weaknesses depending on who you are as a consumer. And it's really useful as a truck person if there's competition. It's really bad if there's no one competing. I would hate it if there was just one pickup truck option. It would really suck, because no matter how much you think someone's going to be forward thinking and progressive, yeah, maybe that works for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, but eventually you just start to get overconfident. You just start, you start thinking you're a number one. And I want competition in the truck space. And so the reason I am excited about the Hummer is that it feels to me like they took it very seriously as a ground up redesign of a truck. Okay, so weakness number one for the Cybertruck: size. It's a big vehicle. I see comments on this all the time. If you live in an area where parking is restricted, or you're taking your vehicle, like when I had my F-250, there's a really, like, if I had to go into downtown, park in a garage, do any of that kind of stuff, it is a huge pain in the ass. If you're in a crowded urban environment with a big vehicle like that, it just is. There are a ton of people that want a smaller truck like what I have now, my Tacoma, that they like the Cybertruck, they like electric vehicles, but it's going to be really difficult for them to have a bigger truck. They're going to have a harder time fitting it into a small parking space, small garage, all that type of stuff. It's big. And I think Tesla's got so much on its plate. A smaller Cybertruck is probably at least 2 or 3 years away. So I could be wrong. I hope I am wrong. I think a smaller Cybertruck would be great. But right now, that's a flaw. Number 2, dealer network. Okay. Everyone sees the fact that Tesla doesn't have a dealer network as an advantage. And there are advantages to it. I mean, there are big advantages. But one of the big concerns people have especially when they're taking a vehicle off-road, is I'm out there in the middle of nowhere. There's definitely not going to be, like where I go off-roading down in Arkansas, there is not going to be a Tesla dealer there. I know it. I know there's not going to be. So there are people that feel that makes them anxious, and they would much rather go with a product from Ford or GM. Might not be as good. I get it. But they're going to go, I know in every town there's a dealer. Now, that dealer might not know how to work on electric vehicles, but they'll be able to get the parts. They'll be able, one of their technicians can call up a battery electric vehicle technician and at least do some troubleshooting and maybe fix some basic issues. The point of it is that the dealer network has pros and cons. I think in general, I think it's a pro. I like the way Tesla's going with mobile service technicians. They're expanding the network, but just the fact remains, it's going to take them a while for them to have the kind of footprint that the other truck companies do. I'm not changing my reservation. I'm going with the Cybertruck. I'm optimistic that that's going to get worked out, that they'll get approved service technicians in other places, do stuff like that. But it's not there today. It's not there today, and it probably won't be there in 18 months. So that's number 2. The bed size for a lot of people is a big deal. A lot of people really want to have an 8-foot bed, and you're fixed with the Cybertruck. Now, none of these trucks have the option for a longer bed, but there are people, the Bollinger, I think, is going to offer it. I got to double check on that. But the bed size is a weakness of the Cybertruck. It's fixed. There's nothing you can do. That leads me to point number 4. I only have 5. I'm not going to go too long on this, but I'm just trying to make a point, which is, okay, I get it. I'm not changing my reservation, but I really want the Hummer to be successful. Why? Because I want them to build another one that's actually cheaper, more mainstream, more for other people. And if that flops, it's going to make it that much harder for them to succeed. And also, I live in a place, GM employs a lot of people, guys. A lot of places in truckland, Ford and GM, they employ a lot of people. I care about them. I don't want them all to be like unemployed. Even though like Ford and GM fucked up and they didn't get on the, the EV stream soon enough, that's not these people's fault. I want them to have enough of a roadmap that they don't just go out. And if they have some successful products, if they need to file for bankruptcy, at least they have a pathway. So anyway, okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox. But fifth wheel. Fifth wheel is a big deal. The Cybertruck, as it's designed right now, I don't think it will work. At least I can't imagine how it will work for fifth wheel towing. For a lot of people, that's a really big deal. I think that, and that's because the sale will get in the way. Now, maybe they'll find, maybe there's a way around that. I can't think of what it is. These are all functions of the Cybertruck design that I love. I don't use a fifth wheel. For my purposes, the Cybertruck is literally like perfect. It checks every box, but it doesn't check everyone's box. And then the last one is just the aesthetics. Some people, the whole Blade Runner thing, they just can't, it like makes them nauseous. Like they just can't get over it. And I don't want those people to not be able to get an electric vehicle. I want them to get an electric truck. They can pay a little bit more. They can sacrifice some on the features. They don't get a bulletproof skin. That's okay. So for me, that's why I'm so enthusiastic. Now, I'm not enthusiastic about everyone, but I really like what the Hummer, what they did. I really feel like they took it seriously. Okay, enough said. I'm done. All right. So, what is getting in the way of the fifth wheel? Because the fifth wheel sits way up further in the bed. It's got this, the reason why people like fifth wheels is because you don't have the same kind of turning radius that you have with a regular bumper hitch mounted trailer. And your trailer can hold more weight. It can hold like an extra 5,000 or 8,000 pounds when the hitch is sitting in the middle of the bed. But as the Cybertruck turns, those sails are going to come in contact with the fifth wheel, pillar support mechanism. So maybe again, someone can prove me wrong, but I don't know. So why don't you think, you don't think it's going to get in the way? It looks like it's going to get in the way to me, but I don't know. I don't use a fifth wheel. Let's see. Okay. I understand why some people think legacy is dead. All legacy isn't going to be dead. Somebody's going to survive, and I don't think they're all going to. Here's the thing. In America, I think we have an institutional commitment to keeping we want to keep our manufacturing base intact. It's super important, especially our heavy manufacturing base, because you never know what might happen. And if you got to suddenly start building a bunch of tanks and planes, if you don't have heavy manufacturing, you're kind of screwed. That's in World War II. That's who we relied on to build all of our stuff. And so I think that's why they're not going to fail. They'll go bankrupt. They'll get reorganized, but they're not just going to vanish. That there's a deep philosophical and governmental support to keep manufacturing strong. Now, if Tesla gets bigger, I could see one of them going out, and if that manufacturing shifts over. But I just don't think I don't. The last time we went through this, we let them reorganize. We lent them a bunch of money. They got back on their feet. I think we're just not going to let them all collapse. I'd be really surprised. All right. So so the last thing the only thing I wanted to talk about with China is I am very curious. Now, I don't know what to think about this. So they open up reservations in China, but not Europe. Or can you reserve in Europe? I don't know. It makes me ask, are they going to build? I'm wondering, are they going to build a Cybertruck line in China? That is extremely interesting to me because I'm wondering if the demand, I thought that the Cybertruck demand, because of pickup trucks, is pretty much an American phenomenon. Yes, I know Australia. Yes, I know Canada. But I'm saying in terms of like most of the world, I'm puzzled by the China Cybertruck thing. I am just curious. I'm curious if anyone has any ideas. To me, it makes me think that there may be much more demand for a truck that in Asia, which I'm just baffled by. I'm curious if anyone thinks that they're actually gonna put a plant over there, because then why would they make reservations available? I mean, when there's a 3-year long wait here. So, all right, let's see here. All right. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, I mentioned this briefly in my last video, or the live stream. I am wondering what are the accessories that you guys would most, so you one or two accessories or features that you're most interested in. I'm going to work on this accessory power ranking thing and try and come up with a way to, I'm going to just mess around with it some and see if we can come up with a consensus on what people are the most enthusiastic about. So I'm wondering if what you guys are most interested in adding in terms of accessories or features. So I've got, I've got full pass-through, which I think is a big one. Auxiliary battery range extension. You guys can see my list. I'm actually more interested in if you guys have anything. If you don't, no big deal. We'll go on, or we'll conclude. I don't have anything after this. Solar roof I have. My biggest desire. Okay, we can't, Steve, you can't say something like that and not say what your biggest desire is unless you want it to be free. Well, then that's probably not going to happen. Yeah, full pass through. Coke, Pepsi, and who else? Yep. So yeah, you could, that's true. I understand. I will share. Well, don't say you'll share and then not share it. So solar roof, I guess it depends on the cost. Well, remember, Android is an operating system, not an actual phone. There's a bunch of different phone brands. So I could, that's where you have Android as an operating system, but you have a bunch of different manufacturers that are using the Android OS, which is one thing I think might happen with EVs, that Google or someone will come up with amphibious. I am wondering if did I put that on here? Okay. Oh, let me put that on here because that's come up enough. I realize that's a reach, but removable doors. Oh, that's a great. More armor. Where would you put more armor? Yeah, I think I might have already put snowplow on here, but I would have anyway. Okay. Okay, so vote for winch and solar roof. Yeah. I think at the top are pass through, winch, and solar roof. So what I'm going to do is, based on feedback from here and the Cybertruck owners group, I'm going to start trying to okay, let's see. Fitted refrigerator. Oh, I like that idea. For the frunk. Oh, that's a great idea. Okay. Let's see. Winch kits, yeah. Well, do police? I always thought they maybe like set the specifications. Attachment point on sales, that's a great idea. You're right. External attachment points. I totally agree. External attachment. These are good ideas. Okay. I don't how would you do repo with it? Don't you need something to lift up the front tires? Could it do that? What is hot tube? I don't know what that is. Back seats convert to a bed. That's brilliant. Back seats into bed. V2G, I should have put that on here. Okay. Yeah, I think the fitted front fridge is a brilliant idea. Okay. Snowplow. Yeah. Titanium coated stainless for some durable color options. I don't understand that one. Oh, hot tub. I guess you could. That's hilarious. I bet you could do it. I love that. That's awesome. Okay, pull right. I'll just write that down and then I'll go look at it. Pull right, travel, hitch. You mean the front seats, Ben? Oh, you mean fold flat rear seats? Spare tire mount. I think I might have already put that, but yeah, I put spare tire storage, but all right, mount. Okay. Oh, HUD. I have it on here. Okay, yeah. I was like, yeah, HUD. Definitely HUD. Run flat tires. Okay. How would you do? Okay, so microphone. Okay, so microphone for back seat. Okay, I see what you're saying, Ben. So all chairs fold flat. I like that. Okay, PVD coated stainless. I'll just write that and then I'll look it up later. Okay. All right. There's some things I would not have thought about. A conventional design. Well, that's going to probably be a different truck. So let's see. Did I get everything? I don't know. Is there a reason why you would need 240 in the cab? But I could definitely see needing 120. I'm just going to put internal cab outlet. So I'm just going to put 220 question mark. I don't know what you would what you would run in the cab. Oh yeah, tail gunner. Yeah. Oh, you know what someone asked me about that I thought was brilliant? Jump seats in the back. Or like a jump seat kit. In back. Actually, somebody posted in one of my notes the ability to transfer the driving function to a rear jump seat. So you could drive, like sit in an elevated position and like drive while you're sitting up high. I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. I would think you could put any coffee maker in there, but you're thinking something that's like that looks like the Cybertruck or something. All right. Water tank under bed. That's a good one. I wonder, or maybe like a water tank that you could put in like the Subaru Brats. Exactly like those, except the idea is that you could also, they could face forward like, you guys remember in the Jurassic Park movie where the guy was sitting in the back with the gun? Um. Oh, okay. For Australia, I got it. Different colors. Okay. I bet a bed crane would probably be aftermarket. I don't think they would do it. But the interesting thing is, if you could have mounting points. Yeah. Well, you know what I think would be awesome is I don't know if there's any paintballers in here, but they have these full auto paintball guns that you could go to. You can tell I'm a paintball nerd. Scenario paintball games where you could set that in the back and like shoot it. Oh, it'd be so much fun. Oh yeah. Oh, an external microphone. Oh. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, the Brat was cool. I like the Brat. All right. Yeah, I think a lot of them can be bought, but I think that one of the things that if you, whether Tesla does it or someone else does it, that you can make accessories that will like hook into the cargo system of the Cybertruck or will fit the aesthetics of the Cybertruck. That would just be kind of cool, like for camping. Um, yeah, I bet there's gonna be. Oh yeah, air horn. I totally agree. Oh, someone had customizable horns. Like you could program it. Maybe the Tesla already does that. You could program it. You know, like those old horns that you could program. Go da 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 da. The old Dukes of Hazzard horn. Um. So quick connects. You mean for like light assemblies and stuff? I see. I think like quick connects for like external. Okay, external power connection ports. I think that's what you mean. I don't know what military. I've never driven a military truck, so I don't know what they exactly have. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll put the tow truck conversion option in here. I don't know enough about that. But that's going to probably be like me with snow plows. Probably be aftermarket. Oh, yeah. Optional. You know what? The other thing is I thought about optional removable part of the roof. But anyway. So connections. Okay. Connections for retrofitting law enforcement. And you know what also? Fire rescue or search and rescue, like all those, they have the same. Oh, tire inflation. Oh my God. Why didn't. Yes. Oh yeah, this is really good. This is good. You guys have. Well, they already. What do you kind of camper top? I mean, they're already going to do like some kind of camper. Tesla's ever primarily used for communicating with pedestrians, as well as likely will phone noise for jurisdictions that require it. Is that? But that's a speaker. It's not a microphone, is it? Yeah, it's a speaker. Okay. Well, here's what I'm thinking. Actually, now I'm thinking if there were some kind of external ports for like retrofitting for law enforcement, but also speakers, but also off-road lights, like a bunch of there's a bunch of stuff. If you had some like in motorcycles, they have these things called powerlet, little things where you can plug in different light systems and stuff. It comes with a compressor, but what we're talking about is automatically being able to inflate and deflate the tires. That's a really big deal in off-roading. And it's a super cool, and it's kind of expensive. All right. Self-inflating, so you don't have to get out. Yeah. Cybertow Just like I want to do Cyberplow. Oh yeah. I like there's so many things you could do with a drone. I'm just going to put it in here. What's going to be great is, even if Tesla doesn't do it, there's probably some super cool stuff that, yeah, I put in a trailer. I have, right up here, Cyber trailer with battery. All right. So, if there you make the CT resistant. Well, I don't think it'll make it fireproof. It'll be, yeah, there's some really cool, I was working on a video called 8 Ways the Cybertruck Could Save Your Life. And one of them was in a forest fire situation. And there's some amazing stuff that people have managed to get through in forest fires. Where are we at on time? Where are we at? What time is it? All right. We're good. I mean, anyone can leave, but let's see. Yeah, tire pressure, but we'll see. I hope it will let us do the inflation. I don't know what a fire department brush truck is, but that sounds cool, so I'm going to write it down. How would you do a hammock? Is there enough room in there to hang a hammock? I'll write it. Okay. I don't know how you would do. Are you talking about locking diff? Because I don't know how you do that with two motors. External noise canceling. Oh, well, I think if there's a speaker, there'll be all kinds of things. Oh, that's a great idea. Passenger. Oh my God. I would love that. Seat, fold, down, desk. Does anyone have that? Oh my God. That would be awesome. Yes, I use my truck for an awesome office too. I'll put it in there, but I think with the dual motor, you can kind of achieve a locking diff, but I'll write it down. I thought the Motor Trend guy said, vented seats. Yes. I mean, I live in the South and it doesn't really bother me, but I know it bothers some people. Okay. Tri-motor locker for the front single motor. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So you could have front lockers. Okay. All right, let's see. PTO. Jesus. Brilliant. I wonder, you might be able to do an electrical PTO also. PTO from rear axle. I mean, what do you care if it's liquid heated and cooled? As long as it's hot. Fractal. That's a great idea. Carbon monoxide sensors. Yeah, PTO is a great idea. PTO is that's a brilliant idea. Okay. Well, if they don't do a plow, they probably aren't going to do a bulldozer. But if they do a plow, there's no reason you couldn't do same thing. I mean, except, well, dozer blades, they take more abuse. I don't think Tesla would do beer taps for the obvious liability reasons. Maybe they would. I'm assuming the rear vault is going to have remote locking and unlocking, but let's just put Vault remote lock unlock. Okay. Okay, well, if you're right, that's good, millionaire. I will be happy if they do. You can get conversion kits for regular trucks to turn them into tracked vehicles. They're just expensive, but they're available. Tire. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Cybertractor, PTO, and a dozer blade. Yep. You'd have it. Well, let's see. If they do wrap options, if wrap avail, then camo. I don't know why Tesla doesn't offer wraps in there. That doesn't make any sense to me why you don't include those in your upsell wraps. I mean, like, that's a no-brainer. Heavy duty wood chipper or gas or PTO, could that PTO? Well, yeah, if you do a PTO, it should be able. I mean, they're all rated. You have to look at what the PTO is rated, but the Cybertruck, in terms of what kind of horsepower it could create, off the, again, how they build it, but yeah, it would have more horsepower than tractors. Oh yeah, water filter. Yeah, well we'll follow up on that. That's right. Filter. Although I think that was more like a distillation system. PTO power takeoff. It's a popular. It's like a mechanical power outlet that you can put different. Very popular in ag, where you can put different attachments in that run off the back of a tractor. So they have the whole ag world has all different kinds of things, like wood chippers, all kinds of things you can run off PTO. Yeah, there's no rear axle, so that's why I was saying I don't know how you would do the PTO, but you could do a PTO motor just running off the battery. So I don't know enough about mechanical things to be totally honest. Yep, PTO, power takeoff. You could a brush. It's gonna have a trailer hitch. All you need to for a brush hog. You just need a gas powered brush hog, one that's not running off. You just need one that runs off gas. But you could do a brush hog, no problem. Someone beat you to the water tank. I don't know enough about UVC light. Let's see, for you, if you fit bigger, speedometer. Mud hog, I don't understand. Backlight. I think a black light would be awesome. I'm going to put it in here. The only reason you need PTO if you already had a PTO implement and you wanted to run it. So that's why. You wouldn't, if you bought a electric, doesn't it? Yeah, there's just a bunch of things out there that are already rigged for PTO. Yeah, I think. Okay. Yeah, I know UV kills viruses, but is it good to shine it like on you? Maybe I just don't understand you. I guess it's in the sun, right? We already get hit by it all the time. I'll throw it on here for virus. Well, that's good, but the thing is, if you had a PTO implement, you could run it off electric. You just need an electric PTO adapter. That's kind of what I'm saying. Trail maps. Is there not a trail maps app already in there? Oh my God. I hope. That's sad. Oh yeah, you're right. Custom colors on LEDs. That should be easy. Yeah, that would be awesome. All right, what time is it? All right, 9 o'clock. We'll wrap it up. But this was kind of fun. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna work on trying to come up with a way to organize these. But this was super fun. There were some things in here I didn't even think about, or I've thought about, but I've not written them down. So I'll go back. If you guys want to keep writing stuff in the comments, I'll jump on tomorrow and I'll look at the comments again. But I'm gonna time out. I'm gonna hang up or whatever. I don't know if you can keep typing after I end the stream, but I'm gonna end the stream. So I guess you can post it in the notes of the stream and I'll look at it. Okay, this was kind of fun. I had fun doing this. I'm hoping we can turn this into some kind of our letter to Santa, Elon and the Tesla people. So, okay, super cool. We'll catch you next week. I have the satellite internet already in here. The Starlink adapter. I already have that on the list. Okay, you guys, I'm leaving. Night vision is good. I'll put it in. Bye.